Yeah. Anyway, there's a mattress. Like, even there's a mattress, like, in the woods, like, away from this town.
There, like, who goes through that effort?
I don't know, but everyone called it Natasha's They called it Natasha's mattress.
That's better. That's better. There's a rhyme in there. At least.
Oh.
Anyway, that's perspective. She was just a lonely girl.
Do you still talk to her?
I think she's dead.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to grow up in the 80s? NES sitcoms and where's the beef ladies? Then you need to listen in your car or at work. Now it's time for Keith is a Jerk.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Keith is a Jerk. I am one of your hosts. My name is Keith, and joined as always by co-host Ryan. What are you saying, Ryan?
I'm going to kick it root down.
I don't know what it means at all. Dave, what are you saying?
Beastie Boys, come on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Shit.
Beastie Boys.
That's white rap. I should know white rap.
Yeah, I would have said Ryan was going for some Cardi B. Is Cardi B a thing?
You know what? I was going to do a Cardi B thing, and I was like, no, I'm far too old to do the okay thing. Amazing. A bit of a break there. I'm sorry for four of you. The thing that really makes me nervous about this is the unexpected listeners that I found out about.
Go on.
As you guys, I think I've mentioned before, every year I go away and teach at this amazing enrichment camp for artists. Mm-hmm. And it turns out a couple of them have found the podcast.
Students or teachers? Oh, shit.
Are coming up and being like, hey, is Ryan really that sad? And I'm like, I think he is.
I'm like a cautionary tale for the youngsters. Like,
I've learned the power of double negatives, and like my wife hates it, but it's like, well, he's not sad. It's not like saying yes, but it's not denying it. It's great.
So big shout out to Sophie, who I believe is the only one who's listened to every single episode except me. Oh, I feel so bad for Sophie now. She looked at me different. She definitely did. There was no more gleam of hope. You know, there was no longer I'm the teacher.
you made Sophie's choice for her. I've been sitting on that joke since you said her fucking name, dude. I'm not.
Oh shit! She gave me a hug right away, and I just thought it was like, "Hey, hello," and she was like, "Are you all right?" Like whispered in my ear, "Are you all right?" I should also point out to any of my arts camp students, I don't condone whispering in my ear gently. Please don't do that. Amazing. So let's see what's been going on. I think today we're going to talk about crazy people, right?
Yeah,
crazy people. What about crazy people you thought were crazy?
Just to set it up a little bit, I start seeing this girl. This is high school, so I think I don't know, 15, 16. No, I must have been 16 because I was driving.
Okay. But
I know I was in my shitty citation, so it certainly wasn't impressing her with that. In case you're wondering, it is beige. So I tell my parents, and they're like, "Oh, bring her by." And I'm like, "Are you out of your fucking minds?" I'm like, you guys, like, even when they're saying it, there's like a little chuckle. You know what I mean? Like,
your parents actually
bring her by. And so I'm like, no, there's no chance. Like, I'm not fucking Brady. Like, this is a nice girl. And it's like, come on. And they start, like, they're getting a little mad and indignant about it now, too, right? Like, it's my fault. You know, and I'm like, fine. I'm like, okay, so I picked the perfect time.
I'm trying to picture your dad with the fucking "you better than me" look on your face.
I don't have a glass with scotch rolling around, but I'm just kidding. It's an open beer can, half drained with 4 more hanging on the fucking 6-pack, still good to go.
An ash from where he accidentally ashed in it.
You better than me as he's sipping.
Oh, what is it? Does her dad drink around the ash or something?
Oh, I bet her dad can't even take a sip while he's still got the smoke dangling out the other side. So
go on, sorry.
No, it's okay. So I'm like, all right, first they want to do dinner. I'm like, out of the fucking question. Out of the question. And so I picked the perfect one. I'm like, we're going to go see a movie. That way I've got an out. I'm going to bring her by. Movies at 7, bring her by 6:30, a quick 10-minute intro and get the fuck out of Dodge. So God damn it. I pull up, and there really is that audible moment when, and this is a sweet fucking girl. I can't stress this enough.
Right.
Like, good people, good parents. I've met her family already, too. And it just couldn't be nicer. You know, like, Leave It to Beaver fucking nice. And I'm like, come on, these people aren't real.
Yeah.
I'm like, for sure he's got, like, some kids in the drywall or something. But, and so I'm like, you know, I'm like, great, this is way worse. I was kind of hoping one of them would be shitty.
Yep.
And she's like, hey, you okay? And I'm like, I really hope you still like me after the next 15 minutes. And she's like, oh, come on, it's gonna be fine. The nice little hand rub on the back too, like, it's okay. And I'm white knuckled on my Chevette.
I can picture you like negotiating advance, like tomorrow I'm gonna bring you to Canada's Wonderland. Anything you want to do. Tomorrow's your fucking day.
I go right into abused mode. Want a comic? Do you want a comic tomorrow?
I'm sorry. I clubs you, baby. I clubs you. Sorry, that's a tired bit. I don't even know why I'm referencing it.
Sorry.
Tim Meadow, shout out. Move on.
So I'm walking up to the front, and I'm like, please. And I open the door, and my mom is already in the everything's fine mode.
Oh God!
You know, like just the clean your walls, like nothing's happening. You know, like just hi. I'm like, so nice to meet you. So I'm like,
so well you were.
I'm like, oh no, what the fuck is wrong? And I'm like, God damn it, 15 minutes. I wanted 15 goddamn minutes from you maniacs. Then I hear it. So this poor girl. I wish I just looked at her face. Like, if I go back in time,
Yeah.
you know, we've talked about it before. I'm not going back to see my dead grandpa or anything like that. I'm going back to watch this fucking poor girl's face. Because she's standing there she still doesn't even know what the everything's fine mom looks like. So she just thinks my mom's got, like, Tourette's or something. You know what I mean?
She's a germaphobe. She's just cleaning the walls down. That's lovely.
Exactly. And then I hear... fucking shit, fucking cock balls, you fucking, and I'm like, oh my god damn it, I'm so mad. And so then I'm like, give me a minute, just hold on, you stay right here, peanut. And I go walk through my kitchen, and I'm looking down the stairs at the basement. So now, picture, I can see both very clearly. I've got one eye on my dad at the bottom of the stairs, and I got one eye on the girl here just giving her a, hey, it's going to be okay. He just hurt himself, and I'm going to make sure he's all right. This fucking maniac has taken the couch from downstairs, and he's trying to ram it up the stairs on the day that they told me to bring her by. And so he's not stopping. He sees me. He knows that she's up there, and he's trying
to use you for anger strength. Oh, the boy!
And he's like, "What the fucking?" And he's looking at me like I did something wrong. And I'm like, so I walk down, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? I'm gonna fist fight my dad. I know this is gonna happen today." And so he's like, I didn't like the couch. I thought, Keith's coming over with this new girl. Let's get rid of this fucking couch. I'm like, what is going through your mind? Why did you think a couch was going to be the make it or break it deal here? I was like, do you have another couch to replace where you were going to put the empty space of no couch?
That is the story of your, like, every story is like honorable intentions layered in with crazy. Your family's an onion.
Buddy, that is our family crest. It's an onion in the middle with fucking Coopers written right through it, and it's all smashed and broken, and there's pieces all fucking falling down, and it's a disaster.
It's like a Russian doll with like the kindness on the big one, and then just a fucking crazy little midget on the inside. Like, little Quados in the middle of this Russian egg.
Quaid, get the couch out of the house. So I'm saying to this mental case, I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, I'm trying to do this for you. And I'm like, oh, God damn it. I'm like, God fucking damn it. I'm like, every time. And so I'm like, he's like, okay, now you turn it. And I'm like, turn it where, you fucking maniac? And he's like, turn it my way. Not even left or right at this point. Starts saying, turn it upwise. I'm like, what the fuck is upwise, you maniac?
Turn it upwise to stage left. God damn it.
And he's throwing out like weird accusations, you know, he's like, turn it left. I thought you were a musician. I was like, what? What are you talking about? And at this point, this fucking couch has ground in...
Quarter step, God damn it!
This couch has ground into the wall. There's a visible section that is chunked into the wall, and every time we slide this thing, it's like, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. I mean, it's like just a little. I swear to God, it looks like a fucking swastika burned on it. It's imprinted into my wall now, and I'm like, well, that's not helping. I look over, I'm like, you're not by any chance Jewish, right? Like, holy fuck. So eventually, it's just getting. We've missed the movie.
Yeah.
We have that's not even close to an option. So, and the worst part is now I'm moving this couch, and I can only turn to see my watch every time this maniac tells me to turn upwise like a musician. And so I'm looking and I'm like, God damn it, I'm late. Now what do I have to do? Like, when this is done, what's happening? Am I here for the night?
How clean are the walls in your kitchen at this point, too?
What, sorry?
How clean are the walls in the kitchen right now?
Oh, Mom has gone to town. She's, I think she gave up, you know what I mean? Like, she's, fuck it, whatever, just went and shot some heroin or something, just like, it's fine. This is over. It's this maniac's day now. Best of intentions, you fuck! And so...
Can I ask you a quick question?
Please.
Please tell me your dad is wearing, like, his good pants while this fucking chaos is going on. And just ripping one of the fucking legs.
His meat and new girl's pants.
He's got his good underwear on and a top hat.
And he just hears a little rip while he's telling you to turn it clockwise, just right in his crotch.
I would not be surprised at all. So it gets better. It gets way better. And so I'm sitting there, and at this point, I don't know what the fuck to do. You know what I mean? Like, this couch is not, I don't know how it got down there. I don't know. Like, I was like, I think the builders built it into the house, and it's just been there. And so at one point, I'm not sure and you can't tell him, just stop. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. There's
that's the last thing you want to do to an angry Cooper.
That's exactly what he would have said. It's exactly word for word. If I was like, Dad, please just stop, he would go, you do not want to just say, just stop to me right now. So at one point, he's doing his fucking, and I'm just glad. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, please no racists. Please no racisms.
You've already got a swastika on the wall.
Exactly. I'm like, and again, my parents, they're not racist in any way, shape, or form, but when you're this angry, there's just no telling what's going to come out of his mouth.
That's right, yeah.
And at one point I thought he was going to throw up. He was like pushing so hard and swearing so hard.
Well, you're not supposed to work that hard when you got that much of a buzz.
Nobody swears as hard as my dad.
Like, how do you swear?
Just pushes it.
How do you swear through your nose? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. It's his mustache tingling away, and I'm just like... So anyway, it gets to this point. The swastika's on the wall. It's clearly this couch is not moving. Oh my God. So he's like, fuck it, and he crawls over the couch and just storms by. I got my arms up. I'm like, we're well past any hope of fixing this. Comes back inside, doesn't say anything, just walks past again, doesn't even acknowledge this girl, just goes back down the stairs, and then all we hear is, starts up a fucking chainsaw.
Fuck off.
He starts up a chainsaw and just slices right through the middle of the fucking couch.
Fuck off.
Like a maniac. Like a goddamn maniac. He starts cutting the couch. There's fluff flying everywhere. Like, it's one thing if you did this in a movie and you wanted to just see, like, oh, I wonder what that would look like. You don't take into account all the tiny pieces of fluff that are coming out while he's like, and he's almost laughing, you know what I mean? Like, he's come up with a brilliant idea at this point.
Now who's the musician, Keith, eh? Eh? You hear that singing?
I'll play you into a paper bag. And so he's cut this thing, and it's going over, it's in his beard, and the little fluffs are in his hair. So he finally cuts this thing in half, and my dad has one. He has one. The best part is, this thing is so embedded into the wall, the bottom half just drops down. Top half doesn't move a fucking inch. Right in there. So finally does it. There's an amazing moment of like just listening to the chainsaw die out. And my dad just, whew. Hi, Marcus Cooper. Nice to meet you. This girl.
With like fucking fluff falling behind him like snow. Like snow.
My dad looks like fucking American. What's that movie? American. The Kevin Spacey one?
American Beauty?
American Beauty. So my dad's laying on the fucking couch and all the couch fluff's falling down on him like the rose petals. The fucking maniac acted like nothing just happened. Holy
That's
shit.
amazing.
It was great.
What I love picturing about this fucking story
It's
is
all
like
about perspective. Again, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's crazy?
Keith did a legit spit take. Holy shit. Legit fucking... Is your webcam on?
I did get that. Nice spit take.
Holy shit.
I'm sorry. It's all about
Legit fucking... Wow.
that wasn't a pretend one. That memory was so fucking horrific.
Eyebrows.
Now I look like my dad. Let me just wipe these spitters away from my spit take. And Keith Cooper, hi, nice to meet you.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like my favorite part is picturing you, like just slowly having the crazy pulled out of you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fucking beautiful.
The best part, there's another half of this story. So it was,
There's another half to this couch that's still in that fucking hallway.
fuck, you can only imagine what couch shopping next weekend was like. Holy shit. So the other half of this story.
Do you want a
is
moment to clean that up?
No,
or
it's
are we
fine,
just,
we'll
you're
get it.
selling your house right now. That's the
It's
incredible
okay,
part.
I'll get it. It's not
You
yours.
are your father's son, just
No,
powering
no.
through this podcast like nothing's wrong.
My mom will come get it in a second.
Yeah.
It's not on the wall.
So the other side to that story, I didn't even ask what she thought of my parents. So what'd you think? I wish I could talk to her parents for when she got home.
So Christmas is at your place? Probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
Poor thing. What was she
Yeah.
doing the whole time? Like, as I was wondering, like, did she grab a sponge and help your mom? Did she calm her down? Did they go outside and have, like, crush a pack of darts? What did they do?
I think it was honestly it was so shocking.
She's probably paralyzed. She's paralyzed.
Yeah, she was like Blair Witch into the corner. You know what I mean? Like, there's no answer to this. You know, you can study as hard as you want. You don't know the answers on this quiz.
Mike
You had to be
Marcus
helped.
doesn't like eyes on
she was
him.
gone. Like, by the time you
I
came
was.
back.
That's
seriously.
exactly it. I really was hoping she was just like
Best case.
Best case scenario. She's
Yeah.
walked away, and I can.
She's taking a
explain-
side step closer to the door with every fucking.
I mean, God bless her. My dad fucking started a chainsaw and cut a couch in half, and she was still there when it was done. You know.
Yeah, it's hard to get gas out of the smell of the house for like a good 3 days too.
It was hard to get the.
That's why you wipe the walls, Dave.
That's
It's hard to get the shame out of the house for the next few days.
Oh.
The best part was, you know, I take weird perspectives on things. Like I know that I focus and I overthink every little thing. Like, you know, the right answer should have been like, whatever, dude. She just, you know, let it go. She'll just think it's crazy and that's the end of it. Until I was at school, and then I'm seeing like all of her friends because she's in a different circle of friends than
No
my
shit.
friends, and all of them are just looking like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!"
There's
I'm
Chainsaw
like,
Charlie.
Yeah, they all know. Yeah, that's how I'm known now. I'm known as the guy whose dad's in his underwear carving up a fucking Christmas couch, turkey stuffing and all. God damn. So yeah, so we didn't date very long.
Oh, that's
It wasn't a real long relationship there. Oh. Fuck.
That's a great one. Nice job. Joe.
Yeah. Then I don't know if we had another couch for a while. I was like, that was the best part too. Like after I went down, like even just the next day, because then my parents were good to try and like smooth things over. My dad just, let me be the first to say. Like it's kind of a running start for him every time. Wake up, let me be the first to say things got a little out of hand. Like, Dad, you didn't put away the chainsaw. It's still sitting downstairs.
It's a warning for the next couch.
Exactly. The couch is still embedded in the wall.
I like how that epiphany must have come from because it was like your mom be like, Marcus, you know, Keith had a young lady over tonight, and I think maybe once the chainsaw got started, that might have been.
Where do you think it went wrong? If you could put a dot in this. Yeah, my favorite, I wish That's another one. If I could get a time machine and go back, I would have liked to have seen the half hour before we got there. You know what I mean? Because I'm twofold on this. Because my wife will joke. My family never gave a shit about me, and they've straight up said, they're like, oh, we never did anything for Keith. We didn't have to. He just did it himself. Yeah, it's fine. You know what I mean? I was like, it's my birthday, guys. Like, that's another great story. So I can only imagine what that half hour was before. Like, do you think she'll hate the couch? You're like, enough of the couch. You're like, but it's just so ugly. I know Keith really wants to impress her. Well, what do you want me to do? Move it out? Well, I mean, I asked you to move it out a bunch of times. Fine, I'll move out the couch.
We'll impress Keith's girlfriend. Here we go.
All for his highness. Fuck.
We never did anything for you? God damn it. You
Move the couch, you son of a bitch.
So you're not getting a birthday because of that day. So what?
Happy birthday, half a couch.
I'm just picturing this lonely outline where the couch was of all the cigarette smoke just burned into the wall around it. And just the absence of this couch is a fucking painting. That's your family crest.
So, yeah, exactly.
The absence of a Christmas tree and the absence of a fucking couch.
I like the flip side of all the kind of arguments when it comes to these kind of things. Like, for me, like, we're going to argue, like, I don't know, like, I don't remember in kindergarten watching any kids with their big fucking swollen tongues getting dragged out of school with my peanut butter sandwich all over
they died.
Like, you don't remember that. And then, like, one of us would be like, no, man, that actually happened once. Yeah, a kid had a really bad reaction. Like,
no,
it's just a different
Tony
way.
just stopped going to school. You just never saw him.
Exactly.
But it was also a different thing. Like, this is, you guys are right. Like, everybody always does it. Like, I've had people who grew up where we did, like Bear and stuff. I haven't had that with him, but in those generations where we're like, oh, fuck this, peanut butter, it's a new thing. What the fuck? We had peanut butter all the time. We did, and I still remember that Greg and Shannon had to go eat lunch by themselves out in the hallway because we wanted to eat our fucking peanut butter.
That's a Make America...
Like, fuck you, Greg, you can die out in the hallway.
That's a Make America Great Again stance, though, isn't it?
That really was. And Shannon was black, so it made it way better for that. I think they're fine with sending Greg out, but when it came to Shannon, anybody else allergic to peanuts? Shannon's hand goes up, teacher goes, oh, fuck. God damn it.
Now we need two chairs. Now we need two chairs.
Oh, man, you're reminding me. Yeah, there's a couple of kids in grade 1 that had to go eat lunch out in the fucking desk. Oh,
that's what it is.
I had no idea why.
Died.
I had no idea why. I just, like, they were lame. I'm like, why are you guys so lame? And it kind of labeled it throughout the recess. Like, you ate lunch out. Like, why do you do that? You're weird, and no one hang out with them.
Throw peanuts at them.
You know what? If Trump wants to get reelected, he just like got to get off this whole like kidnapping kids thing and just like bring like I want to like bring peanut butter back into classrooms and watch everyone like do that. Like that's the way it's going. Good for him. Let's do that.
He's a real saint.
Dave's already signed off on this and voted for it.
That's great. That's why just speaking of that, I saw a couple fucking idiots posting about like, yeah, God bless Trump and this and that. First of all, when you say God bless Trump, I already know every single thing I need to know about you to hate you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not even just the Trump, but if you're starting with God bless, I'm already out. Mm-hmm. But he's like, yeah, he's fucking awesome. And I was like, do you even know about Canada and the tariffs or anything? Are you interested in this stuff at all? Or the meeting where he blamed Justin Trudeau for burning down the White House in 1812?
I've fallen down a rabbit hole in this topic for the last last 2 years. And we can get into it. It's boring as shit, other than the fact that there's a bunch of pseudo-intellectuals that think Trump's the man.
Well, of course.
And but like speaking of crazy people, there's I don't think a better one to start off with. That's pretty good.
That's true.
Pretty good leeway. That is
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's the right kind of fun crazy, right? Like just the narcissist dictator style.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. No, I'm not. This is some bullshit.
I mean, it's funny when it's funny but not funny. You know what I mean? Like it's my kids aren't being taken away from me, so it's not. It's funny like that. I can laugh at his craziness, but you're like, God damn, like this is a very real maniac.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was a Hitler podcast right before where everybody is like the zany things Hitler did this week, right up until like Auschwitz, and then they're like, I think we're going to shut it down. It's getting a little real in
That's
here.
what I feel like we're going towards right now. Awesome.
What's he buying all those ovens for?
We're gonna tell a bunch of stories about some crazy people.
Hitler loves pizza, I guess, huh?
Tell some stories about some crazy people and like, oh no, Dave, I heard that guy fucking killed a family or something like that. Like,
Oh, that's what I'm waiting for. I had that thought.
yes.
Yeah,
Here we go.
I know
Let's get
one.
into this.
I'm not going to say it, but I know one.
All right.
I'll go quick with that. I will say, out of the blue, you know what? Just to give it to put a stamp on the Trump thing, everything else on Facebook, Ryan hears it almost every other day. The upside to not wearing pants and just sitting in your bed writing all day is you have a lot of time to do nothing but look at things and get really
Not edit podcasts.
into it like it matters. You know, there's 100 and something you fuck. But yeah, and so like I'll see every crazy thing that's happened. I've like eventually just been like, fuck, whatever. People are idiots. The Trump thing has been finally enough where I'm like, I don't think I need Facebook anymore. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of that thing. Yeah, it's finally.
Holy shit! Keith.
Yeah, it's 12 years, and I finally just said this is nonsense.
You just jogged something in my memory to bring those 2 points together: crazy and Facebook. Do you remember that? We won't name her name. The one
we don't want to say name. Okay.
Yeah, fuck her actually. So Dave, you
She's
don't know
a shitty
this.
person. I don't mind saying that.
Yeah. So there's this woman.
I
know. She threatened legal action against me and Keith.
This was great.
And like not what you're thinking at all. Like for once we were in the fucking right. So basically this
didn't even say anything horrible. That's what was so great about it.
It was one of those things where she adds me and she adds all these people from my high school, and like me and a bunch of my high school friends like, who the fuck is this person? Like it doesn't ring a bell at all. And then she adds Keith for no reason whatsoever. She just sees Keith and me tagged in a bunch of same pictures.
There's a legitimate chance that this person has like just killed someone and taken over somebody's identity.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That Ryan went to high school with.
She collects personalities.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I can't even. There's so much. I'll just try and get the fucking Coles notes of it.
We'll go with the lawsuit because that one was fucking hilarious.
Basically. First of all, she was.
It's not even Marley Matlin level of like at least there I'd be like, oh, Your Honor, I know what I did was wrong, but it's funny watching a deaf person have sex. That's my defense.
Quick recap for anybody listening that doesn't know: we made a video with Marley Matlin having sex that was still pretty PG, and she and Alyssa Milano blew up Twitter all over our asses. And
so did Matlin.
Yeah,
so did Matlin.
Yeah. So anyway, recap.
There's a
Back to
million
Ryan.
deaf people coming to kill us.
Yeah, there were.
So. Keith messaged her a few times because she will just message anybody. Messaged me a bunch of times, and I can't remember the early signs, but you could tell she was a fucking nutter right away.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's harmless shit, right? Just like, hey, do you remember me from whatever? I was like,
but she
didn't go to your school.
We were like,
I don't know you.
We were like on the other side of the fence once. We were dudes who were getting the hey, you up calls and stuff.
Oh my
like
god,
that.
yes, yeah, it was right, and it would be funny because. You can message.
Are she sending both of you? Like, does she know you guys are together like you are right now, or
no? She had no
doesn't
idea.
know that we hang out all the time. So that's where it gets amazing. Yeah. So then Ryan is like, "Holy shit, you're not going to believe this." I'm like, "Oh, did you just get a you up text from?"
It was a copy and paste. She spelled up with P twice, clearly. So anyway, one day, like she explodes. She's that girl who explodes on Facebook, then deletes it a half hour later.
Right.
Constantly. Like, there's nothing on her Facebook since 2006 because of this. So one day, I can't even fucking remember the context, but like,
I just realized we said her name. She'll eventually find out and sue us for this. But that's fine.
So, and she might actually have legal ground this time, but fuck it. So she posts a picture of her and a guy, and this other guy comes in and he's like, "Oh, you're a cute couple," and she's like, "No, we're just friends." And he's like, "Oh, too bad for him." And she, for some reason, explodes like, "You don't know anything about me!" Blah, 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 and lays into him like, "You don't know my life."
That
and
literally might have been the conversation. That level made her.
No, seriously, that's what started it. Yeah. That was the tinderbox that ignited this fucking fire. Keith. Pretty tame for you, actually. All he did was post the fucking burgundy meme. Well, that escalated quickly.
I was like, it's just a fun bear to poke. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's harmless. So,
but in Ryan's defense, he's always like, I don't know, man. Like maybe and I'm always just like, what's wrong? You know what I mean? Like I just want to just keep that ball rolling.
So she fucking lights up Keith on Messenger for a few minutes, then like removes him and then deletes him. And then Keith lights up my phone. He's like, motherfucker, fucking deleted me and blocked her. He's like, light her shit up right now, man. Get on. And I'm like,
let's be clear. I'm not mad because I don't get to talk to anymore. I'm mad that I can't watch her feed.
You just got kicked off. You got kicked off the crazy train,
Yeah,
like in Indiana Jones.
I was no longer,
ticket.
That's right. I was no longer allowed to watch Weird Al's UHF, and I was furious.
Oh god, there's a fun epilogue to this you don't even
Great.
know. So then I just messaged her directly. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, he said the least offensive thing in that string, and she's like, you guys are bullies. You guys peaked in high school. And I'm like, didn't go to the same high school. Did not go to the same high school. And just starts staring. She's like, I'm going to get the documents together and I'm going to take legal action. And I'm like, what, with the Facebook police?
I was like, I will so happily go to court and have the Ron Burgundy, Will Ferrell meme brought up as evidence.
I'm just picturing these Facebook police with these giant gloves, like the thumbs up hand and stuff like that. So she deletes me in a big like swoop, and like we never hear from her for a while. But I've got this friend. He was still friends with her, and I'm like, dude, you are our window into the madness. Like, send us screenshots because they'll be taken down within the hour, and you fucking know it will. He's like, okay, cool. So then, this was like 2 years ago. This girl messages this guy's wife just from out of nowhere. And she's like, hey, you seem like a really strong woman, and I don't have a lot of female friends. Would you mind if we like Skype sometimes and hung out and just did girl stuff? And and the wife obviously knows the Crazy Train stories. We've told them all to her. And Dave, there's so many more. There are so many more here. This is just surface level fucking
she's
crazy.
She's a full set of Ozzy Osbourne lyrics.
Yeah,
I love
so
it.
it gets so uncomfortable. She's like, this crazy bitch wants to add me. And so she just blocks her instantly, which unfortunately pisses her off, and she blocks my friend. So there goes our last access, our last window to the fucking Crazy Train. Oh. And on Twitter, too. I would could get a glimpse of it on Twitter, then she blocked me on Twitter.
That's such a shame. Everybody can relate to that crazy. That everyone has a couple of crazy friends on Facebook. Ryan, the new thing though is what you have to do, and I wish you and Keith would have thought of this early, is create burner accounts. And so
that would have been
You know what I mean?
As a married man, I never really wanted to go down the creative Facebook burner account route.
Listen, when you burn as many bridges as we do on a day-to-day basis, a burner account.
Alyssa Milano, why did you say Keith was a piece of shit?
This guy,
very nice,
very talented. Hey, did you know he might have made a video that you were offended by? Just kind of set yourself up to open that door back up for you, Keith.
Oh shit! You sold me. I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I did try and add her again, like a year and a half later, just in case.
Didn't happen.
She was just all lost in her sea of madness.
Right.
And she has very real mental problems. And to be fair,
she does. I mean,
we actually, before we started being
if we're going to talk
jerks about it,
people, can we at least make the parameters now? Let's not bring up mental illness. It just lames things out real quick. Let's not get serious about this shit. You're
right. We acknowledge.
I will just say we said that if you want to have somebody go fucking even crazier on them, accuse them in a very sincere way of having mental problems. Like, have you spoken to anybody? You don't know me.
You're like, we really don't. For the first time, we are on the same page.
I hope when we do this. When we do this, or if you do it, or you can send it to me, Keith. If we do this edit, let's beep out name.
Really fucking hitting home on the I don't edit these fucking podcasts, huh?
No, but if we do it, beep out her name, because how many beeps that Ryan just had to use, it'd be really it'd actually be funny. It'd be really funny.
It took the word leaving my mouth. That's where my bravery ended. As soon as I said, I was like, nope, those are beeps. I'm taking them out.
Yeah.
That is a fucking black elf on the shelf coming in our way.
The throwback. I love it. All right, so yeah, we all have those online. Like, social media is just so, you're just so privy to crazy people left, right, and center. Especially Facebook. Especially when you get into politics. It seems
motherfucker, you've never been on Tinder. You
You
have not looked into the fucking face of crazy. You've only met the boss you have to kill before you get to the final boss.
Dave and I can only drive by that bar and see the doorman standing out front of Tinder and all the crazy bitches inside. Ah, you don't know me!
And Ryan just standing there kind of like a shinobi, just right at the door of it. Ready to go in.
Fucking video games. You could have quoted Shinobi made my night. That's spectacular.
All right,
Holy shit. I see him as more of a Kid Icarus.
It's true. With the wings already burned off, still flapping away.
I would say I am an 8-bit fighter. I only have one move.
Nobody wants Ryan that close to their son.
What about
It's an Icarus joke, everybody.
crazy people? What about crazy people you thought were crazy and like were actually good people when you got to know them? Like my stepdad. Like I was gonna like my stepdad. My memories of my stepdad growing up, like I had I guess I call him a stepdad. He never really married my mom. My stepdad, my mom's a step boyfriend, a step boy dad. Well, I don't know what you call them.
Step boy dad. That was a strange combination.
Mom's fuck buddy.
Yeah, whatever. But we lived with him for quite a few years, and I like my memories of him is like calling me, like he always used to call me chubby and like pinch my belly, and then like when we go out shopping places, and I always remember like there's a big thing going on right now where like if you leave your dog or an infant, let's say, in a car with the windows rolled up in the middle of a summer day.
Yeah, for sure.
Rightfully fucking so.
Those are the memories of my summers between 5 and 10.
He was trying to sweat you out like a UFC fighter, man.
I think so. Like I think I was being marinated, or I was being like, I don't know what was going on.
He was trying to cut that wrestling weight off you.
Exactly. So I was
Get you down a class.
I was in the box pretty much an hour every day in the middle of the hot sun. Like, now you wait here. And then he'd like take the keys out. No
Chubbs,
radio.
No
nothing.
Chubbs, I'm going to run into the angler store. I want you to put these garbage bags on, tape them around at the wrists.
You know what's fun? Jumping jacks. Jumping jacks are fun.
No, you can't do it. He honestly would lock the doors so I'd be safe, because he'd tell me like, stay in the car.
Sure, for your safety.
I was 6. Like I wasn't old. I was 6
I love the idea that you're supposed to be smart. You know what I mean? Like, I love that that's like where your path went wrong.
Right.
Dave was supposed to be some genius, and so he's just melted his brain a bit. And now we're left with this version of Dave.
And so that, and then you get to know the guy's story a little bit. Like, this is years down the road when I had an epiphany. Sure. And then you get to know my mom, and you get to realize what this guy's all about. Anyway, he was crazy, but his daughter, so I had a stepdaughter and
stepsister.
Or stepsister, yeah. So my stepsister.
You were locked in a car. Don't worry, it's not your fault.
So my stepsister Heather. So when my dad and my mom used to.
How great would it have been if he said his sister's name was Sarah?
Oh. So my
she went to the same high school as you, right? Continue.
My stepdad and my mom would go out on dates when I was leaving with her. She was 16. I was like, whatever. At the time, I was like maybe 8. So it's the same stepdad that built me a dirt bike, and I would go out in the woods for an hour at the time. Now you think about it, in retrospect, like you don't usually let an 8-year-old run out in the woods on a motorbike.
No, it's not a great idea.
I had a greatest time ever, though. Anyway,
no shit.
Well, that's our childhood, right?
Yeah, she's 15, 16, and I'm sleeping in my room. They're gone. It's got to be like, whatever, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
In the back of his car?
No, I actually had a proper bed, and all of a sudden AC/DC's Hell's Bells just starts fucking blaring. And my stepsister's boyfriend's come over. His name's Mark. And Mark has got...
good, strong 80s, 90s
name. Mark's got those thick, like, those 80s, like, pop bottle like glasses that like they're prescription, and there's no fucking ifs, ands, or buts about it, with a bowl cut and red like fire hair and just a crazy fucking look in his eye. Okay, my stepsister starts making out with, like, I come out, I'm like, can you please turn the music, get the, and like she starts screaming, get the fuck back, get in your robe, get in your, like, screaming, like, all right.
Amazing.
So they went out once a week for that whole summer too. So by day in a hotbox Toyota Celica, 1989 edition, and then by night listening to Hell's Bells and AC/DC, terrified out of my mind of what music, like just the demonic music alone when you're a kid is crazy.
Right, of course.
To this day, it still makes Dave horny.
So anyway, so we live out in the boonies, and And eventually,
couldn't have told. I would never have guessed from this story.
Yeah.
Heather and Mark eventually break up, and about 2 weeks later, we like our house was kind of like half cottage, half house, exposed out to the water, kind of like Ryan, what you got up north, like something like that, just maybe a bit bigger, and. My room's just got a couple panes of glass, and all I hear one night at like this got to be like 2 a.m. I'm a kid again, and all I hear is tack 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 on my window.
Oh, I'm excited.
Oh no! Tack tack
Shock of red
tack.
hair slides up.
Yeah, honestly, and then like so, all there is.
Were you ground floor, Dave, or were you a floor?
A ground floor. And and it's like there's just
Imagine that waking up and fucking Ronald McDonald standing inside your window trying to fuck your sister.
I've got so Heather's room's next to mine, and I've got nothing but like a couple panes of glass and this like really thin curtain with the moonlight kind of seeping in, and all I see is just this head come up like I'm like and I'm like and I hear tack tack tack, and then I'm like I hear that, and then you hear the room next to me tack 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 tack. And then you hear my mother, at the time, my mom's gained my mom's a big woman. She's burly.
Sure.
And she's had the exact same walk that sounds like you can hear it. If the house is 3 stories, you can hear it in the basement if she's on the top floor. Like she has got a strong stride. And you hear this bum, 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 my mom. And then you hear my mom starts loading shotgun shells and opens up the door and lets her fucking round go into the yard.
Shut up.
She
shot?
She shot. She's not aiming at anything. She's not aiming at anything.
In your bedroom?
Into the sky?
No,
or?
like she kicked open the front door, just shot
into the sky.
Just shot into the fucking front yard. It's
Jesus Christ.
Is this like one of those rock salt things that she's done, or she's just straight up?
Let's hope so. It's just a fucking shotgun. It's my mom and my 16-year-old stepsister, myself. Stepdad's away. He's a firefighter, so he was firefighting in Mississauga, so he was gone like weeks at a time.
You got reports of gunshots.
Having the best time. So my mom had one rule: if she hears anything, he's like, "You hear anything out there? You go ahead, just fucking shoot a shot off in the front yard. He'll run off." Sure enough, fucking Maradona's the front door. Like, it was broken. She left-hand hoofed it and then shot it up, and and whatever. Long story short.
You don't end after a shotgun blast. Whatever. You know what I mean? Did this kid get hit?
I don't know. I'm 8 years old, so all I know is I run out to the kitchen and I just see my mom screaming like, "Get down!" Like, you know what I mean? I'm terrified. And Heather comes out, "What are you doing? Like shooting a fucking gun." Blah, blah, blah. Like neighbors are up, like it's a thing, right?
God.
Anyway,
that's great.
So we end up finding out. Of course, it's Mark, right? He's like all weeded up, trying to just bang on Heather's window, like, "Come out and talk to me," kind of deal. Whatever. Turns out about a month later, he killed his brother, and got like sent to like the mental health center forever and a day. But like,
so your mom did the right thing.
My mom
to
the
of
end
the
of the day,
decade.
You want to know
Mom
crazy?
Of the decade.
It turns out, like, he ended up fucking slaughtering his brother with his bare hands and a fucking kitchen knife, and that was it. And
Change my mind. Facebook's back up. God bless Trump.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Kick open the front door and just fire a fucking buckshot in the middle of the lawn. Like
buckshot if you're lucky.
And we live in the middle of nowhere, but my mom fucking...
I hope that gun's got a choke on it for fucking geese or something. Otherwise, you're taking one in the leg.
Exactly. You wouldn't want to be a squirrel around our house back in the day.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
You hear like exaggerated stories about that happening.
How pissed off was Heather? Heather was so mad. "How you shouldn't have got him? He's just my boyfriend."
How fucking great is if the second part to this story is one of Mark's friends is like, "Dude, she's so hot and I know she's your girl. Can you get her to have sex with you outside? And I'm going to hide in the bush." And so he's out in the bush and gets shot by your mom. Just never gets reported. He's just dead. He's been in the bushes forever.
Might have been. Yeah. Could have been.
That's fantastic. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Coming out of the gate swinging.
So there's a couple areas of crazy where you think, okay, who's the crazier aspect here? My crazy stepsister?
Yeah.
No, it's the boyfriend. Like, you know what I mean? Crazy's all about perspective. What about, so Keith tells me like Tinder is crazy. What else is crazy with Tinder? Anything else?
I mean, I'll preface this by saying my stories will be fairly tame because I am a dude and the women are the ones who see the real face of just madness.
They see
I
you.
can imagine. I can only imagine.
They see you. They see you with the heart on, which is crazy.
Fuck. I was. I might get you to edit this story out afterwards, Keith. I don't know. I'll just decide. Oh, I'm not telling that one. Actually, no fucking way. No fucking way.
That's my favorite.
Those are my favorites too. I love it. The best part is I know all these stories, so I'm just waiting like my fucking mom for the couch to come upstairs. I'm like, let's see how this turns out.
You're just polishing walls.
Oh God. All right. Well, what else? Okay, so
Let me ask you guys this:
Go.
What is what's the craziest? You guys are both parents, and I can't wait to hear you turning into your dads, like a metamorphosis. Or like, what's the most crazy you've ever felt in your entire life? Where you look back, you're like, I don't know what I was capable in that state of mind. I'll tell mine.
I will real quick. I've never bought a couch. I just realized. I've never bought a couch before. Everywhere in my house, just chairs.
Do you remember when you helped me move the couch? It got stuck in the fucking doorway.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my God, I'm just making this connection now. I'm not joking, Dave. He just backed away from it, shaking his head like, no. And I'm not joking. His exact line, he's like, I'm going to buy you a new couch. What color do you want? He's like, this couch is just here now.
I was trying to Ted DiBiase. I was just moneying my way out.
My fucking Facebook status from like 4 years ago has that joke in it.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we did. We got it halfway out, and I was like,
and I mean, it was barely stuck, Dave. It was like
all we had to do was spin it upwards, twist it upwards like a musician, and it would have been out.
Upwise.
Upwise stage left.
Did I throw money down? I don't remember if I had cash on me or if I
You offered.
I did offer. I was legit too.
Yeah.
I was like, literally, any couch you want, just tell me. I'll go buy it for you. You pick the color. Let's go. Get someone to take this thing away for us. Oh, that's funny. Fuck,
great.
I didn't even realize that was what that was from. That's how maniac people are.
Yeah.
They don't know that those things are together linked.
Bit of nature and nurture in there from fucking Keith's childhood.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I can't go see a psychiatrist. So he's like, lay down on the couch. And that is good day to you, madam. We are done with this.
Holy shit.
Okay, sorry. So the craziest, like where you're on that verge, you mean?
Yeah, I can remember a few years ago, I was seeing this girl, and I was driving to the cottage, and we were fighting on the way there. And like, I hate fighting in cars, like over speakerphone, none the fucking less too. So we were getting into it.
I was like, are you gonna hurt this girl?
No.
Like you're up in the cottage. We barely made it before I killed her.
Stopped off at the sand dunes. But we're like one of those ugly fucking fights where you're not even trying to make sense anymore. You're just throwing haymakers. Like, nobody's trying to win anymore. You're just, and I'm just like, fuck it! And I like fucking slam my phone down, and I'm pissed off. As soon as I throw my phone down, like into like the passenger side, these fucking like police cherries light up behind me, and I'm like, and I something snapped inside of me, and I don't know if you guys have done that thing where you're so fucking enraged, you start to become happy, really, really fucking creepily. I'm like, that's fantastic. And then I start doing this weird thing. I start singing to myself. What? I'm not joking. It's like, just drumming my hands on the steering wheel. And the fucking cop comes up.
Hold on.
The worst part is you're scatting. The worst fucking art form ever is you start scatting because like you think you... Don't even get me into scatting, but you're scatting. Fuck you.
Bebopping and scatting all over my fucking steering wheel, man.
Is she still on the call?
Oh, no.
Okay, you've hung up at this point.
Yeah. Well, I threw my phone. It might not have just disconnected the call, actually. So the cop comes up. He's like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I'm like, I don't know, because I was on my phone or speeding, maybe? And the cop's like, okay, let me have your license and, like, your... registration, and walks there. I'm like, fantastic. Roll up my window, back on my steering wheel.
Start doing the Lion King.
Comes back like 5 minutes later. She's like, well, I'm not going to lie to you, Mr. Leclerc. I pulled you over for speeding. You took that turn very fast, by the way. And I'm like, I probably did. And she's like, did you realize also your license is expired? I'm like, is it? Fantastic. And she's like, also, your license plate are expired. And then I stopped singing, and I'm like, oh, I'm in a lot of fucking trouble.
Oh my god! Oh, that's great.
She was wonderful. She's like, listen. And I'm like, the light almost switched. I almost started fucking crying. I can feel my eyes watering up.
Oh my
and
god.
she's like, where are you going? I'm like, my cottage. And she's like, okay, well, there's
My cottage.
I'm sorry.
Your cottage? My parents' cottage.
Bobbing, scatting.
I'll go into the cottage, skidly boop, bobbity boop.
Oh, shit.
So what
I
happens?
think she could tell I was broken
I'm
because she
super
let me go.
sad. I got in a fiddly fight with my fucking fiddly girlfriend.
Amazing. So what happens? What
I
does
just
she do?
got the speeding ticket. She could tell
wow.
I was a broken human being, and she's like, go into town and do your fucking plates.
Oh shit! You got lucky. She's
Oh,
hey, good on her, man.
motherfucker.
Good
yeah,
on her.
That's
Well, she was probably like, I might die. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on the side of the road. This is a big fella. I'm just gonna give him the ticket and get the fuck out of here.
You know, fuck
Oh
him,
my
man.
God.
He's always just because you get out of so much shit with pity. Right?
It's
With
true.
those, Puss in Boots eyes looking up at the cop. Like,
they were bloodshot red, believe me, David. All right,
Dave. What else you got?
I don't
I
know,
want to
man.
hear the most. I want to hear the most Dave has ever felt a loss of control.
Yeah.
I can picture it. We've already told the story of you at Canada's Wonderland. That's where I just.
Oh,
picture
at Santa's Village.
Or
Oh my
Santa's-
god.
Santa's Village.
Just a fucking pin in the little feather in the cap. I wish Bob was here for this because we just shot a movie and we needed a theme park. And I was like, well, I just so happen to know the perfect place to film this. And so I wrote a movie that filmed at the park that Dave lost his shit on so that they could go film there and I could enjoy it every time I was there looking around.
Did you look at the Swan Lake?
I wrote in a scene. I wrote in a scene where the swans were broken and they had to climb out and walk away. It unfortunately got cut because it was wintertime and they couldn't get the swans going. But I was like, oh my god, it would have been amazing.
That's a callback, and Ryan, you pointed it out. You know what? I actually blocked that out. That was probably the most ever I had to flip my switch, where I had to look at people while I was coming out of that fucking Swan Lake, and just be like, "Yep, yeah, I did that. I had to go get my daughter and my mother out of a broken swan at fucking
That was
Castle
fantastic.
in Santa's
Ankle
Village.
deep water.
Okay, so are you talking about like that where everything snaps moment, or where everything becomes crystal clear?
When I was in my
everything
bebop and
snaps.
scatting state, yeah, I was like, it was just
Okay.
white noise all around me.
Okay, so I will say maybe
Like that
if I
point
can
of
refer to
psychosis, the point of psychosis where you think, like, you know what? If the circumstances provided themselves and there was like a knife nearby, I don't think I could be trusted with
I
it.
could
Okay.
have killed that fucking
Okay.
cop. I could have fucking 100%. Oh, so we're gonna.
I'm
give
not
me all
going
the
that
tickets?
far,
All
Ryan.
right.
That's a little
Yeah.
fucked up, but all
Oh,
right.
there's an edit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so then I will refer back to my Cooper crest
Oh, good.
and say that it kind of goes the opposite way, where everybody's just always snapped, and then it takes something real fucking crazy to just make everything stop. Like that movie, what's that animated one, Over the Hedge, where the really fast character drinks all the coffee and then everything just stops and goes slow. Or Quicksilver is probably
Yeah,
a
in
good
X-Men.
example.
In
That's a
X-Men,
good one,
yeah.
yeah.
So I don't think I've ever told this story. Stop me if I have. I know you've heard this, but I don't think I've ever told it on here because this is a good one for that. So my younger brother, but not the youngest, we're only a year apart. We fist fought daily, right? Like every single day there was a fist fight, and bad too, right? Like I know people like, yeah, me and my brother. One time he scratched my eye. I was like, are you fucking kidding? Like I broke my brother's jaw like 5 times, you know. So
Your dad scratched your eye at weigh-in.
exactly. I was like, yeah, that's my dad putting on the gloves when we would fucking get cut. So one time my brother and I we're really going at it. I don't know what the fuck started it. It could have been either one of us. I'm certainly not being a saint in this scenario. Again, your parents are just always out of the house. You don't leave 2 14-year-old maniacs in the house. You know, so yeah, I think I'm 13 or 14 probably. Yeah, and he's 13. And so we're fist fighting and blah, blah, blah. I know at one point I drop him and he goes and gets his hockey stick and he starts swinging it at me like a maniac. Swings overhand. I step on his stick and break it. And then I hit him, and he falls back, and his nose is just pouring blood.
Oh, Jesus.
And now for me, I'm like, oh my God, that was awesome. I'm like, that was movie
That's
level
going
shit
in the
right
highlight
there.
reel. That's my highlight reel right
And I
there.
admit, I'm smug as fuck, and I'm looking at it, I got my arms up like, oh my God, that was great. Like, I
know
may
that
as well
look.
have,
It's the worst.
I may as well have crescent kicked you. And you know what I mean? You fucking tried to sweep my leg, motherfucker. So, it's not over. So he starts swinging the broken hockey stick. I mean, blood is going everywhere, like from his nose. It's just on the walls and shit, because he's just wild maniac, right? Get out into the kitchen. And I think I grabbed him at one point. I'm like, fucking enough, man. Like, enough. We're just goddamn fucking done. And so I go into the kitchen, and I'm like, I got to call my mom because there's blood everywhere. I grab the phone.
Clean those walls.
So I grab the old rotary phone off the wall, put my finger on the little dialer thing because it's already busted off to try and start dialing her number. As I put my finger in the middle of the thing, I hear, and in my shoulder goes a steak knife. My brother drives a steak knife into my fucking shoulder. I swear to God, it's only because I moved to grab the phone that it hit me in the fucking shoulder.
Really?
Yeah, and so, yeah, I mean, I show everybody this scar whenever they come by. It's faded over the years, but it's still there.
Holy
You can see it on this side, yeah. So, I'm sitting there, and it's not where everybody, you know, like in movies, they're like, my littlest brother there, and I mean, poor guy, he's just trying to break it up, you know what I mean? He's only like 7. And so, right away, everything just stops.
Yeah.
And I just slow turn to my brother and look at the knife in my shoulder. I look at my brother, and my brother goes, I'm sorry. He goes, I'm fucking sorry. And I'm like, are you I'm like, that's a goddamn knife in my shoulder. And my little brother's like, okay. My littlest brother's like, okay. Okay, here's where we, you know what I mean? Here's where we are. Let's not get crazier.
We've reached Quado in the middle of the onion.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah, this is uncharted territory for us, right? Like, we all know how to brawl, but none of us have taken it to this stage.
You just got hit with a dose of some real.
And now the worst part is, I'm like, what the fuck do I do with this? I'm like, I got a steak knife. It's not clean. It's my house. You know what I mean? So it's jammed in my shoulder, so that's going through my head. I'm like, do we go to the crack house a couple doors down and see if they know how to deal with this?
Which they do.
And
Probably like experts.
Probably. That would have been the better move.
Yeah.
Cauterize you in 2 seconds, yeah.
So instead, my brother starts crying, right? Because now, and he's not crying because he gives a shit that he stabbed his brother. He gives a shit that he's going to get in trouble.
Yep.
And so I'm like, fucking stop. Like, I'm like, at this point, I'm just like, just go. Like, just leave. I just want this over with now. I was like, you took away my highlight reel. Like, we got nothing fucking going on here. So my little brother's like, what are you? He's like, do we just yank this out? And so we start jobbing back and forth like we're in the ER, like on one of those Grey's Anatomy or something. Like, we all know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, and it's in the bone. Like, it's hit the bone. I can feel it when, like, because I'm just touching it. And it's like I can feel like that scraping kind of thing. It's not that deep, right? Like, it's look. I'm probably just, I'm sure everybody's picturing it like sunk into my. If this is like in maybe half an inch, you know what I mean? But it's in and it's jammed into the bone.
Still very
You got
literally
stabbed.
a stab wound.
I did get stabbed.
Still very literally a stab wound.
Yeah, that's true. I got stabbed.
Yep.
And so I just grab it and I'm just like fucking, I pull it out. And the worst part is then I slice up my fucking, the middle of my, I don't know what you call that, the little web area there between your thumb and your index. Because I grab the knife. That's all I can reach.
Yeah.
And so I pull it out and I'm like, God damn it, now I'm fucking cut ever. And my brother's like, don't tell Bob, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. So there's 3 fucking little stupid kids. I'm trying to put tape and my fucking 7-year-old brother is putting gauze over my shoulder and putting his hockey tape on it so that it doesn't fucking bleed all over. We don't, like, we don't sew it up or anything. We don't know how to fucking do that shit. While we're doing that, my other brother has got fucking tissues up his nose and he's wiping down the walls. and so the 3 little fucking maniacs are sitting there cleaning up their war wounds, hoping that we don't get in trouble by the time mom and dad get home.
And you wonder why he snaps going up the stairs with a couch.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Yeah. Yeah, no, that couch was my brother and I was happy to separate us. So yeah, that one was good. I guess that's the opposite of what you meant, but you know.
Well, that's all
crazy enough. The moment before was probably there for him.
Yeah. You know what? To the listeners, you brought us all the way through that, and that sounds like a situation. And then if you take it like very quickly in a snapshot, you walk into that room with a kid with a fucking knife in his shoulder.
Yeah, 100%. That's crazy. Right? Yeah, I mean, it's too unfathomable, I think, by today's standards too, for like, you know, kids who don't fist fight anymore and don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm with you the whole way. To me, there's nothing crazy about it, but if you take a snapshot of it, totally
don't
crazy.
Get me wrong. If my parents had come home, or if they were home, my brother stabbed me, like, this is a whole other level, right? Yeah. Like, you know, it's the only time I've been stabbed, and I got that going for me.
All right, Keith, now stab him and let's go the fuck to bed.
Exactly. All right, you stay still. You guys ever get those?
What?
Like, I don't know if you guys had, like, the daily fist fights with your brothers or anything like that.
No, my brother's 9 years younger than me, no.
Yeah, mine was 9 years older than me.
My dad did do one of those once. I think I hit my brother, and I did some, you know, it was a good big black eye kind of thing, and so my dad's like, you know what? He's like, you're getting too much bigger than your brother. So he let my brother take a pellet gun, wad up some bread, and put it in and shoot me in the back with the pellet gun. I was like,
what?
There! Now you're even. And I'm like, I don't think that was even. I was like, fuck, man, he chose a rye bread. That shit hurt.
I got a poppy seed in my back.
Fuck.
What about women? Know. Crazy women in your life. Like it's a treasure trove of topics. You know what? I grew up, there was this girl that we all knew was crazy. This is like when I was like 12, like when I'm just hitting puberty, right? Yeah, and she's like 3 or 4 years older. And her name was...
Yeah, and in her defense, I mean, look, puberty is bad on a guy, but I can't even fathom what a fucking woman goes through. You
Whatever.
Know what
I had no empathy at the time. All I knew was I was going through at 12 or 13.
Nor since.
And this girl was like, she was 15, 16, but she looked like she was 32. She was a sleut and had been around the corner. And like, so... They called her Dirty Natasha, and like, there was like, I lived...
Oh, boy. Not beeping that one. Not beeping that one.
Here's
what I look at. Just before I get into that, there's no alliteration there whatsoever. It's not like Dirty Dorothy or
That's
like
what I'm saying. That was what I was just going to say.
Dirty Natasha. You're not even trying, motherfucker.
Nasty Natasha was right there.
Exactly.
You guys didn't even go for
it was just pure dirt. Like, you know the song, the Bengals song, or wait, like, what is it, like, all I wanna do is that one.
Yeah. Heart, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we put her name into every kind of dirty song. Like, my name is Natasha. I live on the second floor.
Oh wow, that's horrible. That's a song about a poor Russian kid upstairs who's getting beaten by his family.
I don't believe I fucked you before. So she's been through like the whole gamut, and like
boy, I wonder how she got there.
Yeah.
I wonder what made her want a little bit of attention and love.
And to us, she was crazy. Crazy. Like,
well, yeah.
There was this park in the middle of our townhouse units or whatever it was, like at the projects. Yep. And there was a night where like it was like a summer night. Everyone was out of school. And she was there, and all the kids were doing drugs, like smoking reefer, as the kids like to call it. And then she's like, I've got hash. Do you guys want to do hash with me? And I ran away because I was like, it was like just to that point where like things were getting too real, and Natasha had participated in the conversation. And I'm
be respectful, Dirty Natasha.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a mattress. Like, if there's a mattress like in the woods, like away from
who puts that there? Like, who goes through that effort?
I don't know, but everyone called it Natasha's. They called it Natasha's mattress.
Oh, that's better. No. That's better. There's a rhyme in there at least. Oh.
Anyway, that's perspective. She's
just
a lonely
do you
girl.
Still talk to her?
I think she's dead.
Long have we been friends for? So this is hard for me to say. Feeling lonely last night, so I ordered up some pay about the girl you met, the one you say you get. You think you love her and she might be the one. I got some news for you. You're not the only two. In fact, I think that I saw more. since she hasn't been on set. 'Cause it's only 10:15 about the girl you met, the one you say you get. You think you love her and she might be the one. I got some news for you, you're not the only two. In fact, I know that I saw more. And if you count the horse, then that makes 4. But he's more like 10.5. He's the best you've ever had, I heard you say. Ever wonder, baby, how did you get that way? Working in a grocery store, never found me a Porsche. Or maybe that's all because your girlfriend's a porno star. You know how lucky you are. Your girlfriend's a porno star. And how lucky you are. Ba-ba-da-da, 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 ba-ba-ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-da, 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 ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. She says she'd like to settle down with a guy like you. Fucking you, imagine the wedding dance that you love to do. He says he's leaving you today, but he loves you and he wants you to stay. Well, maybe there's another way.